Ho, ho, hello.
Settle down there, little people.
The show's about to start.
So it wouldn't be Christmas unless I told you a really, really bad story that your mom would approve of. And this one I think is just as bad as last year's.
Are you trying to convince me or yourself?
This one's called A Very Nutty Christmas.
It'll all be over soon, and then we can go back to being happy.
So we meet this baker, Kate, who doesn't care about food safety protocols.
Your secret's safe with me.
It better be.
And her and her team are just baking and decorating up a storm and spreading foodborne illness to all their customers.
Yeah, I know, isn't it great?
They make a perfectly not framed Instagram post and then start messing up orders because they actually like listening to Christmas music.
That's terrible.
Some guy wants them to make 15,000 cookies by Christmas, so they need to work overtime.
Oh no, it's the middle schoolers.
School lets out, and we see that Kate doesn't know how kids work.
I will just go calm them down with some sugar.
And she gives them free cookies. And then she outs fake Santa.
Hi, Mark.
But then they go to the back, where he admits to cheating on her, which she doesn't seem to care about.
And
then he breaks up with her.
I'm breaking up with you.
At work, when she's stressed out, 6 days before Christmas.
he's about to be roadkill. Are you just one of these guys that preys on vulnerable women during the holidays and then crushes their hearts?
So now she knows she'll need an extra set of hands around the bakery, since now she gives a shit about her failed relationship, and has turned to heavily drinking dairy products. So she wants to hire someone else and train them to bake the week of Christmas.
Why don't I show you how things work around here?
She has to take some deliveries to the post office, and this must be a really small town, since the addresses just say crap like Brian. But some locals are excited about this ball coming up, and she tells them she can't make it.
I'm not going to the ball. Mark dumped me.
The post office lady wants to cheer her up, so they go shopping. Some shop owner tries to get her to kiss him, and then wants to give her the original nutcracker from the story for free.
I don't think giving away merchandise is a very sound business plan.
She takes it home and immediately breaks it.
What the heck?
But after she tells it that she had a crush on it when she was a kid.
She means like the character in the play, right?
God, I hope so. Anyway, some magic 5 days before Christmas snow comes in through her open window, and the next morning, the baker, who typically would be going to work at like 5 a.m., wakes up around 10,
The cookies don't bake themselves.
and then has to step over a guy dressed as a nutcracker not once, but twice, and then just assumes he's the guy she's renting a room out to for the week.
Oh, you must be my house share guy.
Why is she renting out a room?
Well, she just bought a new oven that she spent too much on, but she also has a huge workload right now, and her boyfriend broke up with her because her business is so successful, so I don't know. We should also be asking why she doesn't care that there's a man sleeping on her floor and she hasn't given anyone a key yet.
Why would he be dressed like a nutcracker?
Apparently she just leaves the key there all the time.
I should stop doing that.
Doesn't she worry that somebody would find it and break in?
Well, when you're in a town so small that you can just put Brian for an address, you don't need to worry much.
The kingdom of candy canes and ice cream.
So she talks to this guy and assumes he's the actor playing the nutcracker in the play this weekend.
Yeah, he's a method actor.
That totally explains his odd behavior, like pulling out his sword to make sure she gets in her car okay. But he kind of cleans the snow off her car, so she lets it slide. But then he shows up outside of her bakery, where he's standing in traffic, and she tries to get him out of the traffic by standing out there with him.
I'm not very good at this.
He then runs off and acts like a little kid around town.
They're singing!
He's excited about the dumbest crap, and her idea is to get him back to the bakery and caffeinate him and load him up with sugar.
You just need to calm down a little.
But after her ex sees this dude make an ass out of himself, she wants to use the nutcracker to make him jealous.
He's not a better actor.
Oh, thank you.
He's a better man.
They then go inside, where he cracks every walnut in the building while Kate makes a phone call.
Looks like someone is having a very nutty Christmas.
Impressed by this, she offers him a job, even though she thinks he's with the ballet.
You have a dancer's body.
Since the phone is next to Kate, Rosa must have got the message telepathically that someone canceled their order of 1,000 cookies the day they were supposed to be shipped out. But of course, they can't use the cookies for any of the other orders because they wouldn't be fresh.
They'll be dried out.
If she don't start living, her body's gonna dry up.
They go back to her place, where she falls asleep, while the post office lady dresses him up like a to-go cup.
He makes good coffee.
She wakes up the next morning to find out that Chip decorated her house. But she doesn't question why he rifled through her crap to find all these decorations, or if they're even hers.
If you don't have any, we'll buy you some.
When they go to work, they find out that a video Rosa made went viral.
It's me!
And they have orders coming in like crazy. And since they already have 15,000 cookies to make, they decide to take the day off baking to sell the canceled orders.
That sounds bad.
No, that's great.
But work ethic around town is off as a whole, when a woman comes in as they're about to close to ask them to hang a sign for an event that's happening tonight.
Yeah, of course, you know what you're doing.
I mean, people are probably already getting ready for this, and this chick is just getting around to advertising for it.
When is this ball?
Tonight.
But Chip goes to ask Kate about the ball, and then doesn't see her standing there, so he leaves so we can see that Kate is happy, and somehow they managed to bake 6,000 cookies today. I guess the kids were only impressed by the nutcracking for like 10 more minutes.
And you could have been Employee of the Month, but you know what? Not now. Not ever.
Chip decides to ask her to the ball by wasting time and materials making her a cake that he pulls out of the oven with no mitts.
Your hands must hurt.
And Justin also makes a smaller effort to ask Rosa.
Some people miss all the signs.
Especially when it's so obvious.
She goes dress shopping and finds the perfect dress as she poorly attempts ballet. And the dress shop owner gives her a scarf to give to Chip too.
My Christmas gift to you.
I don't think giving away merchandise is a very sound business plan.
She also finds what I can only assume is the crappiest hairdresser in town, because she still has walk-in appointments on the night of adult prom. So her and the lady from the post office, who must be her best friend, are waiting on the porch for the guy in her spare bedroom to pick her up.
This time of the year, I only drive a sleigh.
He shows up in a horse-drawn carriage that must have been paid for with his hat rubies, and he also has a set of earrings that he paid for with the tale of the magic of Christmas or some crap.
So what's the story of
So they pull up to this movie theater where her ex is taking his Santa role a little too seriously.
I can't disrobe in front of the kids. I have to stay in character.
She then wants to do a silent auction, even though she's renting out her spare bedroom because she's broke. And Chip also signs up for everything.
With what money?
Hat rubies, I guess.
These can't be real rubies.
But the dress shop chick takes Chip on the dance floor, and the ex ditches his date so he can try to get back with Kate.
Do you want to sit on my lap?
But she wants Chip,
No. I want to sit on his.
and rushes down to meet him, but is still slower than Rosa, who went down after her. So they give the results of the auction, and it turns out that Chip overbid everyone, but wrote Kate's name down instead. And she wins everything.
Oh, I never win these things.
And apparently it doesn't dawn on her that she needs to pay for all of this, even when she's loading all this stuff on her bed.
I should have just asked me for the money.
She wakes up the next morning with perfect makeup and can't find Chip. Turns out that he went to the bakery early, but not to help drive the number down, but to make her a new cookie that's not on the menu.
Gingerbread is not your average cookie. No, it holds a dark history that you must understand before you can create your own.
Justin tells them to get to work after we just saw him sitting on his butt.
I don't understand why you're here.
And they bake their asses off, ignoring her own rule,
Let's keep the volume at a 5 so we can hear the timers.
until she gives more cookies away to the children.
I don't think giving away merchandise is a very sound business plan.
Chip tells them that they made double the amount of cookies they were supposed to, but the professionals didn't notice that they went over their personal goal by a couple hundred.
That's never happened.
Chip then gives everyone tomorrow off, instead of thinking that they might want to spend Christmas Eves with their families, but no one disagrees.
Yeah, I agree with Chip. Please.
So instead, they build a snowman, and go shopping, and go ice skating on a dry erase board.
It's so slippery! Woo!
Then she goes home to change for the ballet, and gets a text that the dude that's supposed to rent the room from her is sick, even though he was due a few days ago. She checks under the mat to find her key is still there, which proves nothing, and her first instinct is to go see the guy that gave her the nutcracker.
Who, the goof off?
But he's not there. Defeated, she goes to destroy their snowman, and then yells at him in public. She then pieces together that he's the magical nutcracker, and not the actor playing him in the play. And she accepts this like super quick.
I don't know how you did that, but I'm impressed.
But then she gets mad when she realizes he's gonna go away soon.
Hey, don't worry, here, have a french fry.
The next day, she complains that they don't have enough time to fart around.
Maybe they shouldn't have taken that day off.
Yeah, and to make things worse, Chip comes in wanting to work, and she tells him to beat it.
Get out of here, nut job.
It's nutcracker!
But he just goes outside because he has to save her from the Mouse King.
The Mouse King is coming. And when he does, I'll be ready to fight him.
Justin tells him that she just needs space, and he says, to hell with the Mouse King. I'll risk him attacking if it means I can get me more of those cookies.
Oh, these cookies!
She explains everything to Rosa, and she's like, who gives a crap? You should totally get that wooden bastard back. She rushes to find him,
I need that toy!
even looking in a tree,
Chip!
I'm the tree whisperer.
but he's at a bar where her ex paid the bartender to keep him busy while he tries to win Kate back because he's upset that she's happy.
I know, just look at her. She's a wreck. I don't know how she gets out of bed in the morning.
But Chip sees that the truckers picking up the cookies are shaking her down, and a well-placed pole makes him think that this guy's the Mouse King. That, and a fake tail, and them eating cheese. He runs over and draws his sword to threaten them, but she doesn't want him to threaten them. She wants to threaten them by using him to threaten them.
I am a fierce warrior.
Okay. Who would like to see me crack some nuts?
So the whole neighborhood comes to load the truck instead of the moving company,
It's not our job.
and are way too happy when they're done.
And they travel to the sugar plum forest.
Chip says that he was with Santa, but he said that he hadn't seen Chip, and now she's more upset than when he cheated on her, and sticks her army of sugar-high middle schoolers on him.
Kids love me.
Get your bowl full of jelly out of the way.
They go back to her place, and she falls asleep right at the stroke of midnight, and wakes up to find the nutcracker on her coffee table. She then goes around town giving away all the gift baskets she won, and invites everybody to lunch at her place. And no one seems to have any other plans on Christmas Day.
Oh, it's just a total waste of a day.
She also finds out that Justin started banging Rosa,
I am.
and gives them a trip to Hawaii. She then goes to the store and buys the turkey that needs to be ready by 1 o'clock.
You want the bird? Go in the alley and eat the bird.
The post office lady brings her nephew, and she's like, an unshaven man in uniform? You'll do.
I love a man in uniform.
But it turns out the old German guy sent the nutcracker to prep her to be ready to meet the Wish.com version of her perfect guy.
Yeah, I see the resemblance.
So will the nutcracker come back to life again next year?
Yeah, and he thinks they're gonna pick up their relationship where they left off.
I wish you could stay here.
I think I'm falling in love again.
It's so slippery. Woo!
But the soldier gave her another nutcracker, and the first one's like, this is some bullshit. You got over me that quick? Did you already forget that I'm coming back next Christmas? I'm going to kill you both. Okay, maybe not that last part, but it would have made the story better.
You know they're gonna kill her, don't you?
Let me guess, you have a special membership?
It's a special Christmas membership.
Just hit subscribe.
You're kidding. You're shaking me down on Christmas Eve?
Goodbye.